scissors, shoot.
You're out.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I'm out.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Poor Timing Podcast again.
Welcome.
I'm here with my boys, K-Mac, Frank,
Wiener.
and Holmes.
K-Mac.
Little Kev. I've
so
never
real.
called him it anywhere besides the podcast, and it just for some reason it sticks when I'm.
It's very real now.
Speaking of K-Mac, we were shouted out, and they used K-Mac.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
By
which
design.
I like a lot.
By design. Why don't you tell everybody about that podcast, or at least what you know about it before I get into it.
They sound like three close friends. They are the Second Mouse Podcast.
The Second Mouse Podcast.
I like the name. Very cool name.
I don't remember their names, but one of them is from our hometown, or they're all from Long Island, right?
They are all from Long Island, but I don't know if any of them are still living on Long Island.
Oh, they're pretty funny. They're entertaining. They talk about all topics that I enjoy, like aliens and bagels and shit like that.
Aliens and bagels are cool.
It was fun. I listened to Intergalactic Waffle House.
That's their
was
newest
good.
episode, or was their newest episode by the time this airs.
Yeah.
I know Tommy DeRoma, Tommy Dizzle for a long time. We grew up together, worked together at a very young age. Just a super funny dude, and more than that, a super smart dude. If you're into... obviously, they do a lot of topical stuff, and they're just super smart guys. But past that, if you're a sports guy, their sports shit is fucking legit. They go in hard. They know their shit. They'll give advice. They know it all. They'll talk about it all, from actual statistics to gossip. They cover all bases. It's the Second Mouse Podcast, which is based on a Christopher Walken line from Catch Me If You Can, which is a horrendous piece of shit movie.
Frank doesn't know
disagree,
movies.
dude.
Yeah, it's just a horrendous piece of... There's not one... Name a good Tom Hanks movie.
Castaway, best one.
Worst fucking
Terminal
movie.
is the
The
same
Terminal,
movie.
I was gonna say
It just takes place at an
Terminal.
airport instead of on an
Catch
island.
me if you can.
So the second Mouse Podcast is a lifestyle podcast that discusses a variety of topics from sports, tech, politics, and art. The Second Mouse Podcast is your place for interesting discussions, lively debate, and the best hot takes. Again, Tommy D, one of the funniest guys I've met. Check out the Second Mouse Podcast. Subscribe. And maybe find us while you're on there.
They gained a follower from me, so
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
for
they
sure.
gave us a really nice shout out, so thank you for
Thanks,
that.
boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do
It's
it.
really cool.
Yeah, I think we're ready to get into some shit here.
Yeah, we could do some stuff. Could do the podcast now.
Yeah, podcast it. Who's going here?
I don't care.
I don't fucking
You
care.
go, Frank. Let's do
All
it.
right, yeah. So
Yeah,
let's talk
Hear
about
what Frank's gonna tear to pieces today.
let's talk about vegans
10 on
and
the clock, if you
vegetarians.
will,
Yeah, 10 on the
Holmes.
clock, Holmes. Come on.
He's just fumbling the ball right now.
Holmes,
with the clock.
Holmes, what did we just talk about?
We're good.
10 hours.
Vegans and something.
That's what we're about to talk about.
and the Quiet Mouse podcast.
You're a
Second
fucking,
Mouse
you're a fucking
Podcast,
idiot.
you
You're a fucking idiot.
dumbass.
Fucking moron. Anyway,
Time's
yeah.
going.
So thanks. So vegans and vegetarians. What do you know about them, and what do you like about them? What do you dislike about them?
They're picky. I don't really. they.
Yeah, they just be picky.
It's hard to go out to eat with them.
Oh, for
They're
sure.
usually frail.
yeah, for sure. Unhealthy.
Yeah. I grew up around, I should say, vegans and stuff because of the hardcore and punk scene. They're all, a lot of straight edge vegan kids.
Yeah, a lot
out
of
there.
really pretentious people.
Oh yeah, a lot of militant.
Self-righteous
militant.
sacks of shit. Yep.
I mean, if that's how you want to, that's
No, that's
those are
how
your
it
words.
is. No, that's just how it is, and I'll prove it to you.
I would love to hear.
All right,
What do you
so
know? Yeah, what do you know about
I don't know anything about them because they just make up shit to fucking better influence their shitty fucking fake culture. But what I will tell you, is that it's all about the sanctity of fucking life, and meat is murder. And these are the same people
Morrissey.
that fucking Morrissey. These are the same people that hate abortion, right? And fucking are pro-choice, right? Yeah. So what about plants? Let's talk about plants.
Yeah, what about plants? What about
Plants?
them?
Yeah, did you know that plants know when they're dying? Did
They
you know
have
they
feelings.
Did you know? I don't know about feelings, but did you know they have self-defense mechanisms to
Yes,
keep
they
themselves
do.
from dying?
Yes.
I know some of them change their flavor when they hear sounds of themselves getting chewed.
For sure.
I know that they do let out frequencies.
They do. And some scientists are now saying they are high-pitched cries when they're being cut down.
Yeah.
Because they could possibly feel pain despite not having pain receptors.
And also an interesting point, there are plants that are carnivorous, and if they were big enough, they would love to eat you.
They would absolutely
They
eat
wouldn't
you.
give a fuck about any of your ideals.
Yo, Frank, do you
at
remember
all.
that plant that I had? Did you ever? One of you have seen it. It's it moves when you touch it.
Of course, it's trying to defend itself.
Yeah,
It does
exactly.
not want to die. It's aware of the fact that it's alive.
They
and
communicate
it
with
doesn't
each
want to
other?
die. Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, moral of the story is, why is it okay to kill an innocent plant, pluck it out of the ground, destroy its life? Why is that okay?
I know the answer to this.
Tell me.
And it's because it's not cute.
Right. It's
Anything
not-
that's disgusting, we can justify.
Thus,
killing.
the self-righteous
that's pretty good.
douchebag claim that I made before.
Yeah.
We get to pick and choose what life is important to us. We get to pick and choose based on what kind of fur and fucking big eyeballs something has, whether or not it's worth living. Guess what? You're a piece of fucking shit.
What about?
Just ravaging the
I
planet.
don't. I'm not saying the person is necessarily a piece of shit. Maybe they're just uneducated.
Sure.
But
So they didn't do research on something they live by and stand by.
Sure.
Piece of shit.
or what about when they're harvesting all these crops, right?
Right.
They have these tractors running over worms,
Yeah.
insects,
Yeah.
furry creatures,
Yeah.
getting
All the
chopped up.
time.
Yeah.
This
I
is
was gonna say that.
again, the worms and the spiders don't get the same fucking love that the fucking cats and the dogs get. Kill them all. I'm not advocating for trees, just for the record. Rip them out of the fucking ground, kill the fucking dogs. If it came down, I
Kill
love
the dogs.
I love my dog. I love my dog more than anybody loves their dog. If it's me and the dog, if it comes down to me and the
gotta
dog, I'm
go.
eating the fucking
eating the
dog.
dog. It's
gotta
Every
go.
time. If
sure.
it comes down to me and you guys, I'm eating you.
Yeah.
Period. End of
eating each
discussion.
other.
You
I
can
think
try.
there's a movie about this.
I just don't get where they get off going on fucking social media platforms and pretending to shame people when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's the problem.
I do agree with that, but I would say there is benefits to having a plant-based diet in certain situations.
For sure. If you're
So-
going to tell me that you don't eat meat because of
Dietary.
dietary
Health
for
reason.
health reasons,
Yep,
which
yep.
you can also make an argument that these people are fucking nutrient deficient at this point, but whatever.
Yeah.
If you're going to make that argument, fine. But as soon as you're one of these fucking, do you know how chickens are fucking gassed to death? Shut your fucking mouth. You haven't done any research.
Yeah, I mean, I do. So I not in defense, but I do think that a lot of people go towards veganism hoping to bring some kind of good in the world, and then, of course, personalities change, things come with that.
Yeah.
But like, I do think that people. It comes from a place of not wanting to kill things.
It
How
comes
much
from
of-
a good
I don't
place.
want to kill
How
things
much of that
either.
is born from wanting to have a certain fucking self-righteous image?
A lot,
That's-
for sure.
That's a lot.
99% of
ego,
it.
and I think that once you get into, like you said, the culture and the lifestyle, a lot of ego does come with it. And another thing I'll say is that my favorite vegans I know mostly just eat Doritos and shit.
Right.
Right.
Like, so, you know what I mean? And like Oreos and
They also,
garbage like that.
They also
And
drive
it's not-
cars, right?
Of course.
Oh, they burn fossil fuels?
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
weird.
I'm saying. That's why I mean,
Yeah, but
I
Frank,
do understand.
Go ahead. No,
You gotta look at it like they're trying to do.
No, they're not.
Doing
They're driving
more
cars.
than
No.
what you're doing.
Wrong.
I understand.
What are they doing? Tell me what
Frank-
they're doing.
They're
Frank-
not eating animals. I
Frank
guess.
is pointing
That's-
out the blatant hypocrisy.
Correct.
and I
Which
agree with that.
But
yeah, for
because
sure.
they're not eating animals, even though they absolutely make no difference in the amount of
it
animals
doesn't
that
make
die.
you a good person.
No, it makes you a shitty person if you're advertising it and making people that eat meat somehow feel useless when in reality there is absolutely no difference in the amount of meat that's being killed.
That's true. You
Whatsoever.
have no significance.
You have nothing you're doing matters. You're not making your stance sucks, and you're not making
It's
a
like
change.
recycling.
You're
Correct.
just making it
Whoa!
Recycling.
You're
Good
making
move.
it inconvenient for the people you're around.
I don't care about that. Make it inconvenient for me. Just stand for something and actually know what you're talking about. Okay, if you're telling me you stand for animal rights and you're driving a car, you're a piece of shit. If you're telling me that you're not, if you're telling me, no, because there are real people that dedicate
understand,
themselves to the
understand.
cause and like live on a
Yeah, of
compound
course,
and
of
don't
course.
fucking do it. If you're telling me you don't want to see defenseless animals killed, stop eating plants because they're fucking being killed.
Yes, that is
That's
true.
Just a little consistency.
These fields-
this much. That's all I'm looking for.
The fields that they rototiller to do the mono-agriculture kill hundreds of thousands of animals and insects every time it happens.
And also, not only that, a lot of the GMOs and the different insecticides and different shit that they spray on the crops, the chemicals and stuff, that fucks with life all around.
Including us.
Including us. Yeah,
of course it does.
And of course, like Frank said, you could be fucking all farm-fed, fucking farm-grown, I don't know, whatever your natural bullshit is, but if you live in the U.S., you're not hiding from this shit. I don't care how clean you think your soul is, you're not fucking hiding from
my advice
how bad
to
it
you
is out
vegans
there.
is if you really want to do it the right way, start with your own fingers. Eat your own fingers, and then you get to toes, and then eventually,
then you're not hurting anybody.
Right, then you're not
besides yourself,
hurting anybody at all. You really want to
Self-sustaining.
stand for something? Do it without any
That's pretty
toes.
funny.
That's what I'd like to see.
It's hard to stand without toes.
I got a question.
Please.
What do you think? What do you think about the bees and the honey and all that shit? Do vegans eat honey? I don't know, but bees make it.
You're absolutely right, and a lot of vegans do eat honey.
Well, then they're hypocrites.
Of course, they're hypocrites.
Nicole won't eat honey.
Okay,
I'm
good.
like, that doesn't even
Nicole
affect the
spits-
bees at all.
I agree with you, but like, if your stance is like, I can't drink milk because a cow made
guess.
that, then why is it okay for you
guess.
to?
Nicole
doesn't-
spits chewing gum into the street. Okay, so vegan, check. Check. No, it's all bullshit. It's all for fucking likes. And you're a piece of shit. So I'm ready. Next.
Just take a quick, time to fucking tear apart veganism and possibly make a lot of people out there hate us. We would love to hear counterpoints too.
No, we
sure.
wouldn't.
I will. I'll talk to you about it. I don't give a shit.
I hope you really dislike that if you're a vegan. I really do.
Frank has
really do.
fire in his
This is
heart.
very
I hate the horse shit.
vegans.
Like, if you, again.
Yeah, why don't you go eat horse shit?
If you think
For
Frank
real.
If you
hates
love
women,
it so much.
wait till you hear his rant about vegans.
Well, you ever notice how most of them are women?
That's a good point. Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on. Kevin, Johnny, who's ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Kevin, give it to us.
So I have it's a debatable topic, unlike veganism and vegetarianism. But I'm going to ask an initial question, and I would like each of you to answer it.
Okay.
Is there, Frank, a point in time where dosing or drugging somebody is justified? Yes or no?
Yes.
I said each.
I knew Frank was going to just say
No.
yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
is justified?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
Johnny, what do you think? It could be as little as a Tylenol.
I guess if you're saying it like that, yeah. As a dad, I have to say yeah.
In what other way could I say it to make it sound better?
Well, because you're saying dosing drug, I give my kid Advil,
And they
or
don't-
like
he doesn't
medicine
know
or
what
shit.
it is, yeah.
Sometimes you do it to your dog. You do like if
Right.
you're saying like that, then
Well,
yeah, I make
you
stuff
take your
up.
son to the doctor and you know what he's allergic to. I think that's a little different.
Okay,
But-
well,
I think under a doctor's supervision, yes.
That's
it is
me.
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if there's a reason for it,
Yeah,
like my kid has to take medicine, and if I tell him it's medicine, he
Dr.
won't take it.
I thought that was over. I thought that was done. Anyway, yeah, I think if a doctor tells you that you've got to go under or something like that.
Okay, but you're giving consent. At
If
that
you're
point.
talking,
Oh,
yeah,
so
if
you're saying
talking-
non-consent.
Non-consensual.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
like I
Dosing.
said, in my
right,
circumstance,
sorry.
like I said, in my circumstance, my kid doesn't know he's like
Yeah.
most medicine for kids is fine. They just take it, like,
Okay.
but like
For your child, you should be able to give them a drug to make them feel better.
for sure, if they like at a certain age, you know what I mean. I'm talking. I have a toddler, so
Right.
you know
You're,
they
you're
don't
on a
want to
losing
take
bat.
medicine.
You're
Absolutely
on a
not,
losing
John.
battle.
So, what would you say? It's justified. You're allowed to do it.
What I did to you was not okay.
Wait, hold on. We
I
didn't
say anything
even
yet.
say anything yet, and Holmes is just
I just know where
admitting
he's
guilt
going
and saying
here.
sorry.
I know where he's
Is this
going here.
some sort of chloroform story?
It's
What
not
did Holmes
chloroform.
do to you?
It could
Is
be.
It okay?
It could be potentially harmless. It could be devastating.
It's so I'm gonna say if it's in any sense of psychedelic, hallucinogenic, any effect that it would have on you without knowing, that's not okay.
in no circumstance.
No, I still think it's okay.
No, it's
Why
not
do you
okay.
think it's okay?
I mean, listen. Let's say they're attempting life, saving surgery, and
They're
you're
not. It's
but
John.
hold on. But you're already under. Let's say you're already under, and a decision has to be made to save your life.
Give him LSD.
You're not consenting, but
I think a medical. It doesn't really. You have a point.
I don't think
Yeah.
they give people psychedelics to.
Well, that's not what we're just talking about.
Which
Psychedelics
just justified it all.
justified it all.
It depends. I mean, Freud was giving people cocaine like a motherfucker.
For sure. But again, I mean, you may not be able to make this. You may not be in enough consciousness to
you
make the
weren't
decision.
in enough consciousness.
That's bullshit.
To make this decision.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get
All right,
into
get
the meat
into
of
this,
it. So
Yeah,
it's enough
instead of
beating around the fuck.
fucking. Holmes already apologized. We don't even know what's going on. We got to hear this.
So
Him sitting in the lawn chair
flashing
makes this so much better.
He doesn't even look guilty though. He doesn't look
Be
sorry
a little more
at all.
relaxed, please. You're a little high strung.
Does that look like? Does that look like the face of a man who is sorry or a man who's gonna dose you later?
he's
You
going
tell
to
me.
repeat this process over and over again, and I'm sure it's happened. So,
All right, get into
anyway,
this, please.
We're flashing back, maybe 2014, 15.
Okay, so you're
And-
young men.
Yeah,
Substantial amount of
Yes.
time.
Yep, good looking still.
yeah. So
Before this
before
incident.
moisturizing. So we're hanging out in his room and watching an Islanders game, and we just had dinner. He's like, "Yo, Kev, my mom made cookies. Would you want one?" I'm like,
Oh.
"All right, okay. I'm just gonna give a little information beforehand. I had just gotten out of college. I was at a job. I was unhappy. I'm looking for new jobs. The job I end up getting is for the FAA, and I need to take drug tests and stuff like that all the time.
You're a fucking idiot.
Oh no! So he. Oh god.
So I'm like, yeah, sure. So
What
he
a
comes.
piece of shit.
I'm not
He
happy
leaves.
about this story, just so you know.
Continue.
So a little time goes by, and he comes in. He's like, there was only one left. Do you want half? I'm like, all right.
Oh my god!
That's
You
a
should've
weird thing
known.
to say about cookies.
I know.
There's only
Now that
one left. Do you want?
No one
half?
leaves one cookie. I should have known.
Especially
dude.
not.
I guess
no one
I'm at-
offers you half a cookie.
I'm at fault
bad.
here. I'm at fault. It
Yeah,
was
for
it was a
sure.
reasonably big cookie, so that's why I agreed to
Okay.
have it. So I'm eating it. I'm like enjoying this cookie. It didn't
taste
taste
bad?
weird. Nothing, dude. He goes, "Hey, Kev, how's that cookie?"
All right, time out. Do it. Say it exactly that way.
Hey, Kevin, how's that cookie taste?
That
And
sounds
I'm
so
like,
sexual.
I'm
That
like,
sounds scary.
and I was like, "It's good." Like,
Of
why the
course.
fuck are you asking me about this cookie?
I probably said it like 3 times. How's that cookie taste?
And he's like, so you like it? I'm like, yeah, it's a good cookie. He's like, probably because it has weed in it.
All right, time out. Time out. You
Oh,
go
fuck.
from 0 to 10, I assume. Anger.
I was like, disbelief. Because
That he
I
would
know
do
it's
that.
only weed, but
Yeah, yeah,
number one,
yeah.
you don't know how much it is.
Especially
I'm
with
doing
that
drug
guy.
tests. I'm interviewing around. I was in disbelief. I'm like, no way. He's like, he's laughing at this point, like just nodding,
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, dude,
Douchebag.
you're a real dick. Like, I was pretty mad.
He left like right after.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go because how am I gonna get home if I'm completely fucked up? At this point, I haven't smoked in like 4 or 5 years, and I ate a half a gigantic edible.
Oh no! And
So how nice were you?
Zero nice.
You weren't nice?
I felt nothing from that
Oh,
edible.
wow, really?
Yeah,
So then what's the whole story about then?
pissing dirty, ruining my life
That's
potentially.
true.
Hold on. You weren't at his house the night he did this exact same thing to his mother?
No,
No, my
I was.
mom wants edibles.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
there was
for
one night she took him and I guess she wasn't ready for what was going to happen and she had to go to the hospital.
Well, that was because no, that wasn't the reason. That wasn't. She has high blood pressure. And shit.
Okay. I do remember back in the day having some Holmes edibles, and when we were kids, he would just like, it was an completely unregulated amount of weed going in there, and he would just fucking,
brownies.
it was insane. They were way too strong.
Or weak sometimes.
Or weak,
But-
I guess,
yeah.
but
You had
the
never
ones that
s-
I had when I was young put me on my ass.
Scared.
Yeah.
You had never seen this happen though, where someone ate it by mistake, other than this time that happened to you.
Well, I wouldn't expect my friend of multiple years, maybe
of
a
course.
decade, trick me in this weird scheme to get
How
me
is
to eat
it possible
it.
you don't know him that well?
It wasn't it wasn't a mistake. It was
No, he did it on purpose.
Yeah, it was a deliberate thing. It wasn't.
It
a
happened to
mistake.
my mom so bad.
To me?
To my mom.
Someone-
My
Yeah,
dad.
From me though?
No, not from you.
Oh, okay.
My
I don't
dad left
remember.
one out, and she ate it, and
man.
she
It's not deliberate.
Did she not like it?
She was like, "This tastes weird," but finished it. And then he said like, "I hope you're ready." And she fucking psyched
hope
herself up
you're
too hard
ready.
and really
Yeah.
had a bad time.
Yeah, that can happen.
So there's like, when you go from kitchen to living room, there's obviously a gap in the floor if the floor changes, right?
Yes.
She walked over it like it was a fucking hurdle. She like, and then she comes to my room. I'm like, "You'll be fine. Just lay down. Don't worry about it." She comes to my room at like 4 a.m. and she's tapping on my door like this. And I just happen to be up. I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" She's like, "I'm sorry for banging on the door, but I'm freaking the fuck out right now." So she was pissed about that.
That's funny.
I felt very bad about doing that to Kevin. Once I learned he was like looking for he was in the process of getting a legitimate job, I would have never have done it.
Did you have to get one of the drinks?
No, luckily it spanned.
Okay, got it.
The interview and then the drug test
Got
was
ya.
like a month.
Yeah, so you were
I
good.
didn't
You
even have
used
one.
one of those once, right?
I've done a couple things.
I've done that.
I remember when our good friend Justin O'Shea took one. He passed a drug test for smoking weed, and he was basically that gave him clearance to say I could smoke weed before any interview. The next time he had an interview, he smoked a bunch of weed, took the drink, and failed. Right
How
away.
it
Oh
works.
my God.
It helps you. It doesn't clear it every
Of
time.
course, yeah.
God.
It's like if you smoke a little bit of weed, little tiny bit, then it'll help you pass it. But you can't just be a pothead and drink that.
So, what
and
are some
pass.
other preventative measures?
I'll tell you a
taken?
story. One time when I was younger,
This is good.
I was
Do some
going
overtime.
Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of
We're going
overtime
into
for this. Yeah, 'cause
overtime,
this is a good story.
Go.
One time when I was younger, I was going for a job, and I was.
You want to tell us where?
I was smoking the weed. It doesn't matter. I was smoking the weed at the time, and the interview was coming up, and I just knew that I wasn't gonna pass the drug test. I was like, "This is not. I got to take this drug test soon. What am I gonna do?" And like Kevin said, he didn't smoke weed for like 6 or 7, a long time. You didn't smoke weed.
More than 7 years.
Yeah, so my brilliant plan was let me hit up my best friend for some piss. And he delivered. My boy Dingo delivered. He gave me a cup of fresh piss. And what I did was I put the piss in for all those people out there who are disgusting drug addicts and need to pass a drug test. This is what you need to do. I took Kev's piss and I put it in a unlubricated condom.
Wow.
Right?
Is that enough?
It was enough piss.
Okay.
I was
enough.
drinking heavily that night, so there was plenty of piss to go around.
Yeah, it was
I'm just
nice.
thinking of condoms like what, 2 shot glasses of piss?
Maybe yours.
I don't use the magnums.
Oh,
I don't use them.
Kev gave me his piss. I put it in a unlubricated condom, and I was doing a magic trick over there.
Intermission.
Speaking of shot glasses,
Yeah, exactly. I put it in unlubricated condom, and I made sure it was clean. I did a really good job of that, making sure I didn't get Kev's piss anywhere.
well, because you transferred it.
I don't remember what I did.
Okay,
Did you
I
tie
remember.
it?
I remember pissing in a bottle.
Yes,
The
and I
rest
got
is
the
history.
bottle, the piss from the bottle into the condom,
Funnel.
clean. I don't remember how I did it, but I was so proud. I didn't have to touch any of my best friend's piss at all.
but clearly you were willing to touch the piss. Like
Yes.
if worse came to worse,
I was, but that was one of the things I was like, at least it's my best friend of a million
course,
years'
yeah.
is piss. The worst that happens is it gets on my
You
fingers.
didn't have to touch his dick.
I didn't have to touch his dick. I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't.
Wait, so is the moral of the story you drank a drugged piss?
No,
what
the
are you
fuck?
talking
We're
about?
still on drugging people, though.
Oh my God, Holmes.
Continue.
He just
For-
doesn't pay
don't-
attention and then just, what is going
The
on?
fact that you just let him interrupt you sucks.
Yeah.
Continue,
All
please.
right, I'm sorry. So I had the piss in the unlubricated condom secured, tied it off
Like a balloon.
like a balloon. So I had a balloon of piss. right? And I took a thermometer, a little like thermometer you would use, and I sat in the parking lot of the place where you take the piss.
You needed a thermometer.
No,
No,
listen
this
to me,
shit
bro.
gets hardcore.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was legit. I sat there and I heat because I didn't want it to be too hot.
So you put the heat on.
Put the heat on it, and I got it to like what like 90 or something.
whatever,
like
yeah.
like
Sure.
and
Some
I
warm piss.
some warm piss, like
Yeah.
pretty warm, and then I shoved the piss into my pants under my balls. So I had Kevin's piss.
How did you secure it?
I had tight enough jeans. Like
Jesus
jeans,
Christ.
like, the jeans I'm wearing
So
right
it
now.
looked
are
like
tight
the outline of your cock.
No one would have ever known. It was like in my asshole,
Tucked away.
basically. Yeah.
Right.
This
like,
Irish
now
guy
that-
has a big dick.
Now that would have been sick if you'd have put that condom in your ass.
hit right in my
I'd
asshole.
have given you
No.
any amount of money.
So yeah, that's so that and then I remember I just had like a safety pin in my pocket or whatever, and I went into the fucking bathroom, popped it.
The ingenuity.
Yeah, but there's a
Incredible.
problem. There's a problem.
Oh, there is. Okay,
Stand and
sorry.
watch
They're
right
not.
behind you.
They're no. They don't watch.
Oh,
It's
some
some
of
I
them
mean,
people
maybe
do,
your
yeah.
parole officer was watching you last time you
Yeah,
were
he did.
fucking.
He did.
But I was just taking a piss test for a job. They don't fucking follow you into the bathroom. But so they want piss in the bowl, and you're not allowed to clean up or take anything out with you. That's really the rules, right? So what I did to not be sketchy was I had this fucking condom emptied. Obviously, the piss
To
is
not
out
be
of it.
sketchy.
Yeah, I just wrapped it up in a paper towel, and I was like, I kind of like got some piss on the toilet seat. I wiped it up. This is my paper towel. Is that all right? And then she was like, yeah. I was like even that was too much.
Right.
Like, and then
You
I just
went overboard.
no, I wasn't, because I fucking temperature, like I was, because I did the temperature and I went as hard as I did. This lady didn't suspect a
goddamn
thing. Yeah,
thing.
and my boy Kev was clean.
Wow, that's amazing.
Was he
I
though?
can't
Was it
believe you-
right after I gave him that?
That kind of wasn't. You could have almost ruined both of our lives.
Both their
That would've been-
careers.
You know what? I would have felt bad for ruining Kevin's life, but if it got the two of you, I'd be like sick.
That's
right.
if you would have got to 2 for 1, you would have been even happier.
All right, Johnny,
right.
you got something for us?
I do have something. I'm excited about it. Get ready, Holmes. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by telling you a little story about a Thanksgiving in 2009. Okay,
Your Thanksgiving?
not my Thanksgiving.
Okay.
This is the Thanksgiving of a man named John Edward Jones.
Oh.
Okay, in November 24th, 2009, John Jones went to do a longtime hobby of his known as spelunking.
Spelunking or spurlunking?
Spelunking,
Okay.
or caving.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cave
so
diving.
him and his family went into the Nutty Putty.
Oh.
What is it? The Nutty Putty Cave system, something like that. John Jones was following something that I think he believed was in his memory, or he was just exploring. He went into a hole that was a vertical hole, and he went headfirst into this hole. Okay, and the hole ended up by the bottom of it being about 10 by 18 inches.
Basically, he was a weirdo.
Yeah, so one of the things I don't know what possesses people who do this to do this, but this is a tragic story of a fucking dumbass named John Jones, because he left behind a family, which I'm not calling him not saying anything, but John Jones went upside down into a cave he thought he knew. It was about 10 by 18 inches. And when he realized that he realized it was a little too tight for him, and he thought up ahead that it opened up a little bit. So he tried to go even further down with his head down into this hole, and it ended up getting fully stuck in this fucking cave in the Nutty Putty. And by the time his family, his brother, realized he was stuck, they got down there and they realized how bad it was, because they basically just saw just his feet hanging out of a hole in the ground.
Jeez.
And they got a rescue team. They tried to.
He was still alive when they found him?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. They were down there just for like hours. You know what I'm saying? They were exploring together, but they had split up to explore different parts of the cave. And John Jones, who was an experienced guy, thought that this was something that he could handle, and it ended up being too much. If you could see the angle, he's completely downward, and his feet are sticking out of
stomach. I hate this shit.
Oh, we're just at the beginning.
Wait, was her or he wasn't an experienced guy?
He was an experienced guy, and he knew the cave, and he was going off, I believe, something he thought was in his memory. And if you could see, his feet are towards the opening.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the opposite of the way his fucking knees bend.
Yeah.
If you're just listening, it's almost perpendicular to the ground. Like if
No,
he's
they're gonna
diving
see
into a
this.
pool.
No, this is different, Holmes. This is different stuff, but we'll get there.
Diving into a
Have you
pool,
ever seen the
pretty much.
movie The Descent?
I think the Descent is about John Jones in some way, but I don't want to talk about that movie because I've never seen it.
Well, it ends up being some sort of monsters down there.
Oh,
but,
maybe no. That's a different movie.
but
There is a
moral-
movie about this. This is John Jones, by the way.
But moral of the story is the movie, to me, is frightening for different reasons because they get trapped in these really tight caves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So what ended up happening to John Jones is that his position was just far too compromised, and they couldn't get him out. He was down there for about 27 hours before they got him out, and he was obviously dead. He ultimately suffered from cardiac arrest, which is rough, in a 10 by 18 cavern.
Oh my god! From the blood rushing to his head.
Yes, because he was upside down, vertical, which is something that if you're a caver, apparently you don't do. So Holmes, if you could pull up some of the
Which
stuff
one?
that I want to get into.
This is great.
Okay, so this, just for a reference point, this is the birth canal, which is the cave system that took him to the actual spot where he got stuck. So this is the cave that led to the cave.
But this guy's going head first, too.
But this part of the cave isn't
Okay, gotcha.
vertical. This is just like, this is normal shit for caving.
Why would you ever want
Yeah.
to do this?
I have no fucking
I don't know
idea.
either. And also, how the fuck are you turning around?
Yeah,
not.
there's
You're just
videos
going-
and they show you. It's insane. It's insane the things that they do to turn around and stuff like that.
Oh, fun.
They'll like find a spot that's a little bigger and they'll turn around
Yes.
very
By the
easily.
way, the music's making this so much worse for
I
me.
know.
If you could hit me
My
with
anxiety is peaking. Right
the
now.
worst claustrophobic caving you will ever see video that I sent you.
God, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, if you're just listening, he's,
if
he's pulling himself through this cave where every surrounding inch
Yeah.
of his body is encased
If
in
you're
a
just
cave.
listening, there's some fucking
isn't my- no,
retard
not this
climbing through a fucking something smaller than a manhole cover.
Yeah, so like I said, 10 by 18 inches. Imagine
Fucking
10 by
idiots.
18 inches the guy got caught in. It's such a small hole. This isn't what I want, by the way. It's
know
such a
it
small hole that he can only go through it with his arms in front of him. You cannot have your arms by your sides. You can't decide later to move your arm backwards. You're stuck in the position that you go into this hole in.
Human beings have just become way too prosperous for our own good.
And one of the things,
it's just fucking
caving and spelunking dates back a super, super long time. But one of the biggest things I love about it is being in a place that no human being has ever been able to go to.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Go to Mars.
Yeah. I think it's the worst shit ever.
I'm sure at some point in human history it made
this-
sense.
This whole week I've been addicted to watching this shit, trying to like overcome my own fears of it.
Would you spelunk?
No fucking chance.
So then don't overcome those fears.
I
Don't
know,
do
but
that.
It's really interesting shit
I
to
think
watch.
there is a reason why we feel this way watching these videos. It's because you're not supposed to do it.
Have you ever gone into a really crowded shed or
Is this
garage?
yeah.
Should be.
I don't even like that shit, dude.
Claustrophobia is
No,
not
this
good.
isn't the one
Yeah,
I wanted,
like-
but it's fine.
Oh my god, get this.
That is so
Look at
tight.
what they're fucking doing. Why would you ever want to do something like that?
If you breathe in too deep.
Isn't
you're
this how
stuck.
James Franco got his arm cut off in that shitty movie?
Not quite.
I
but,
guess you guys are gonna tell me that's another great movie.
no, that movie sucks. But this is just ridiculous. I don't know why you would want to do this.
my
A lot of times
And
you can
there's
only
water.
Yeah, in a lot
He's
of
in
in a
water.
lot of caving they go into caves that can flood, and they do it while it's flooding so that they can observe.
Oh.
So that they can observe how what's
that.
happening.
Again, fucking stupid.
Yeah. So,
So-
what we're watching right now is a young guy going through a cave that has got to be less than a foot
Fucking
wide.
crazy. Man.
He's you could only fit through some of this stuff if you suck your chest in, and then to add it, sometimes you're hundreds of feet under the ground. And the only thing that is at the end of the cave is another cave. And then another one until you get to the fucking end or you can't fit anymore.
So fucking stupid.
And
They
I
don't
think-
even know the
look at
end
this.
sometimes.
Oh my
look
god.
at this.
They
It's
don't
a
even
guy
know
is
where the
basically
end is.
what you would expect the John Jones story I told to look like.
Yeah.
This
Don't-
is the tiniest hole you could fucking imagine.
For
this dude
those
is going
listening
through.
to this, don't look this up.
No.
Look at that! Look
Don't
at that!
watch
That
this.
is an
Scares me.
Don't look at
unbelievably- That hole can't be a foot by foot hole.
Well,
They're-
yeah, his
they're
feet
climbing-
can't be upright going through it.
Yeah,
he has
he
to
can't-
point his toes
Yep.
to get through.
Make a circle with your thumb and index finger. That's how fucking big the hole is. This fucking idiot is trying to climb through. Fucking moron.
It's insane, and if I told you how many people died doing this, you'd be
All
shocked.
of them.
Let me guess, 78%.
I think 2 recorded deaths
Because
in
no one does it.
history.
Because no
John
one
Jones is
fucking
one of them,
does it.
and then there's another story.
Yeah,
from
what's
like
the
1920
population of
something.
doing it, though?
So the thing is that this is people who actually do this and are pros never go with more than certain peoples. It's all very. I mean, they never go without a team. I should say. They have like an expert mapper. They have like they only go with a plan, a very rigid plan, and they may explore more, but they're professionals, so they never put themselves into a situation where they absolutely cannot get out of it.
I'd like
and
to
it may
know-
seem like this is like because your brain won't allow you
Yeah.
to comprehend this, but like he can fit through that hole as
Well,
long as
yeah,
he
he's
does
going
it
to
the
get through
oh,
it.
yeah, exactly.
With that being said, whether or not I can fit through the hole seems fucking irrelevant.
Oh yeah, not to
To-
them though. They
Hell
love
yeah.
getting through that fucking hole. For
How do
some
they
reason.
map? I'd like to know how they map out the fucking.
They,
I would too.
they call
use,
a guy like
drones
Holmes
and
and they
shit.
put a GoPro on an RC
no, that's
car.
not how they do it.
Nah, there's
They
no.
use drones with like X-ray and
Dude,
shit.
it's a guy.
No,
It's a
I know,
guy
but
who
they-
goes down there with like instruments.
This guy
think
crawling
so?
through
Yes,
water
I've seen
is
it. I've been
awesome.
watching this shit for 2 weeks.
So,
like
I'll say
instead of
this, though.
sleeping.
The only way they know how it happens is by doing it themselves. Someone
Yes.
doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Then I respect them.
I'll say
I
this.
respect them
Sucks.
too, but it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
it is ridiculous.
I'll say this.
why?
They're smarter than vegans.
They're smarter than being.
This is a better lifestyle choice than veganism.
Well, at least
caving.
they're not shaming anyone for not fucking going in a fucking
Yeah.
hole the size of
Little
their
do you
fucking
know.
dick. Yeah, right.
I'm friends with a couple
I
spelunkers
sent
and
Holmes a
they're
video,
assholes.
another video. I don't care if you bring it up, but I sent Holmes a video of them claiming
I
it's
don't
the.
have any more videos to pull up.
Imagine
it's
that,
them-
Kevin, if they were like, you guys walking way too open space. It's fucking wasteful. Fucking idiot. That's what vegans do.
There's a video of a guy. It's a channel that I really like. I wish I had one of their videos. I sent them to Holmes, but it's okay. But he caves with like his 13-year-old nephew, and
No.
because he's smaller, he can go the places that other people can't go. And this dude is just fitting this kid into it's a 10 by 13 hole, which is only an inch wider than the hole John Jones died in. And he just shoves his fucking nephew in that shit. Like,
Would
see
that
you
be
later,
considered
kid.
child abuse?
It is child abuse.
He actually,
I don't care what you consider it.
Yeah, believe it or not, the kid is the most experienced caver on their team. That's what they claim.
Child abuse.
Yeah.
It's grooming, number one, and it's
I mean,
child
yeah,
abuse, number two.
but it's insane to
I
think
have
like
it.
he
I
can fit
have
through
it.
shit.
When he dies, this child, it will be murdered.
I think about the same thing. I keep
Murder.
up with this channel like I'm waiting for this guy something terrible to happen. I'm not wishing it upon him, but I feel like it's gonna happen.
it's a
murder.
fucking car accident.
Fucking
Bro,
murder.
all he does is put up fucking him and his nephew just fucking caving like shit, like fitting into tiny ass holes.
I just don't get it. I just will never, ever get it.
It's ridiculous.
Do we have that last clip, John?
Like, you want to tell
Yeah,
me
right here.
skydiving or bungee jumping?
Last clip, yes. Look at this. This fucking guy. He's just okay. Sorry, I lied. 6 by 10 inches. This hole is 6 by 10 inches, and he's fitting a child into it.
That's child
No,
abuse.
shoving a
Shoving a child into it. Like, you will fucking get in there.
and he's angry about it.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's good.
awful out here. This is literally the worst.
So I'm still running my camera gear in there.
Literally the worst what position you've ever put your nephew in.
Second worst, if you know what I mean.
I'm just going to come out and say it. This guy's a
But
piece of
what's the
fucking
point?
garbage. There
Tell
is
me
no
what the point is.
to kill him. To kill him.
That's how you kill your nephew.
Yeah.
Why would you ever make your nephew do something like that?
I mean, he definitely wants to do it.
Can you hear him? Like if
No.
he's in there and
He
he's
does,
saying
but look, he's trying to look.
But if he's in there and he's saying, "I need help, I can't breathe,"
Yeah, he could probably. I don't know.
because like right now he could be dead.
He's probably
He's not
dead
moving.
like my fucking one of my
In.
worst horrors ever.
It is my worst horror ever.
Where's this kid's parents?
And they're like, yeah, now come out by yourself.
yeah, you want to go with Uncle Johnny down the hole this weekend?
No, don't say Uncle Johnny.
You're both John.
Oh yeah, I guess.
No, that kid's better. I
That
mean,
kid's dead. Look at that angle, dude. That's fucked.
how do they know there's not fucking?
They don't. He claims that he claims that he's the only person ever fit in there, so they don't know.
I was gonna take that to a really dark spot.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me horrify you for a little bit.
I really didn't like that.
I
but
do think just to get off of the horrifying stuff, we have some fun end segment we're gonna do here.
we have something we have no idea how it's gonna pan out or work, but we're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a go.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
it'll be fun to do no matter what. That's for sure.
We're calling a friend about tax troubles.
Nobody's fucking picking that up.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle.
You're in tax trouble.
Kyle. Kyle.
You're in tax trouble.
You're not still there, are you, Kyle?
Kyle.
Hello?
Hey, Kyle. Kyle.
Hello? Am I in tax trouble?
You're in tax trouble.
Fuck.
Asking for a social security number.
087.
Oh, Kyle, we're so happy.
We love you,
I
Kyle.
love you guys so much. Yo, Poor Timing Podcast.
Oh.
Thanks for answering,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Love you guys.
Goodbye, Kyle.
All right, bye. I'm going to watch Dawson's Creek. Bye.
Kyle needs a better phone screening process.
He answered right away.
Right away.
Don't call her ID? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yup.
But then he didn't acknowledge he was on
I
the
know
phone
for
like 5
fucking
minutes.
ever. That was the best phone call ever. All right, somebody else.
I'll call a bar or something if you want.
You're in tax trouble.
He's not. He might be.
Paradise.
Hey, yo, is this Paradise?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how you doing?
Good of you.
Yeah, I just had a quick question for you. I was down there earlier today. I got some ice cream,
Sure. Okay.
and it was just way too delicious. I couldn't handle it. I went home and I almost fucking died.
Who's this, Chris?
No, who the fuck is Chris? I don't know
What's up,
anybody
bro?
named Chris. I don't know. But the ice cream I had, it was delicious.
You're
I
in
think-
tax trouble.
Oh shit! I'm in tax trouble. Who are these people?
I just wanted to call you and tell you that I'm a big fan of your ice cream, and it's.
I thank you very much. Then the least you could do is go on Google, put a good review.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna do a little more than that. I'm gonna come
Alright,
down
what-
there tomorrow. I'm gonna get some more ice cream, and I'm gonna tell everybody how good that shit was too.
No problem. Anytime, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. You have a great night.
What's your name, though? What's your name?
This is
Tax trouble.
tax trouble. You have a
Who?
great night, buddy.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Have
Bye.
a good one. I'm sorry, Jacob. You ever see this? We really did love your ice cream shop.
Maybe change the pitch slightly because it's really distorted.
Okay.
See how it crackles like that?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's because I'm not talking loud enough.
There you go.
That's probably why.
Hello?
Hey, Mike.
What?
This is Rocky from the complex you live in.
Okay.
Your dog has been shitting everywhere. Why don't you clean it up? That's what I want to know. Why don't you clean your dog shit up? And also, you have friends that just come over and just fuck around and do whatever they want. I don't understand. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Mike? Like, just be a
Is this the worst episode of Poor Timing Podcast ever?
Why can't you just be a respectful living tenant?
You guys really need content, huh?
Goodbye, Mike.
Clean up your dog shit, bitch. Clean up your dog shit, bitch.
Dog shit, you fucking
I got a note on my door about someone cutting cactuses in the complex. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Holmes was cutting cactuses.
You're welcome.
Wait, is that real, Mike?
Yeah.
He really did that?
That's for real.
You're
Yeah,
a
there's
piece
cameras
of
there,
shit.
apparently.
Garbage.
We just did an episode about how he fucks his friends all the time, so that fits in.
Oh, yeah.
perfectly.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Mike, you have any stories? You got any stories of Holmes doing anything terrible to you? You want to get off your chest right now? What we got you?
Every time he comes to visit me or is in like anywhere I live, he makes a point to eat my peanut butter and like leave the spoon in it. Yeah, I don't know why.
All right.
I mean, that's all right, boys. Have fun.
Love
All
it,
right,
Mike.
Michael, clean up your
Mike.
dog shit.
Love you later.
Goodbye.
All right, that was good, everybody.
All right.
All right, I'm glad we did that, folks. I'm glad we got some great crank calls out of the way.
Classic.
We yanked some cranks and we cranked some yanks.
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Can you please go follow us and stuff? Do you want to do that or no?
At what?
At poortimingpodcast.com on Instagram. Email us. poortimingpodcast@gmail.com. Go to the website, poortimingpodcast.podbean.com. All right, thank you for listening. Goodbye.